Okay, we are live and welcome. If by some miracle YouTube has shown you this thumbnail, um, welcome to my channel. Um, and let's see where this goes. I have something to say that I have been thinking about this before, of course, but it kind of dawned upon me this morning, and I realized that, oh, you know, that's it. It really is that simple. And I'm going to get into that, and I will tell you all about what I'm thinking here, okay? Um, but what I need to say is that if you want to join the chat, you need to be a subscriber. And I'm doing it in such a way because that seems to deter, if that's the right word, most of the trolls and haters. Not always, but it seems to help. So consider subscribing to this channel. Um, let's give it a few seconds so that people can join. I don't do these live streams on a regular basis, but when I feel I have something to share, I will do a live stream. You know. Let's see now. People are joining, which is wonderful. Um, yeah. So such funny time to be alive, isn't it? Lots of things are happening. Um, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's get into the topic. And I'm sure I will repeat myself as more people are joining. So you may have noticed that there's a huge emphasis on equity, not equality. Well, equality, equity. There's a difference there, but there's a huge focus now in media and even in corporations, well, also in corporations, concerning what they like to call minorities. And what they're saying is that we need to have minorities represented in, social media, corporations, and so on and so on. And it's that old, worn out word, racism. It's being applied to almost everything. Um, and not only that, well, I guess racism it's almost yesterday's news now. It's gone beyond that now. It's you need to incorporate people who change their genders like they change their underwear, and things like that. So we have moved into la la land, if that's well, you know what I mean. It's all it doesn't it's it's just stupid, insane, the whole thing. Now, if you have been following my channel or my other channels, you probably know that I don't like racism. I think people should be treated in a fair way, and that's it's quite simple. Just I don't care color of your skin, your ethnicity. I really don't care. It doesn't make you any better or worse than anyone else. It's when I get to know you and your personality, then I will know if you're a good person or a bad person. Okay, it's simple. But that seems not to be how we're supposed to treat our fellow beings anymore. And here comes the important part. It's not what you do, it's who you are now. That's what we have moved into. It's not what you do, it doesn't matter what you do, it's who you are. And with who you are, I mean your it's like they have this form and you can check some boxes like the color of your skin, your ethnicity, gender, sexual preferences, and all of those things. And people will be writing that it's been like this for many years now. Yes, I know that. But it's gotten much worse. And I'll tell you why. This is now being incorporated in the computer models, also known as AI, that will be controlling everything online. Okay. And everything is online now. So how did I get to that conclusion? It's not brilliant. I know. You might say that, well, I've seen this, known this for a long time. But you know what? I have some background in statistics from university. And I believe that one of the reasons why I managed to build quite a large following on my main channel until it suddenly stopped is the reason is that I have been able to analyze what's going on my channel. And I also look at other channels because there is data available. So I think that after having done this for quite a few years, I have a good grasp of what's going on. And here's what I think. It's being built into the algorithm, and not only YouTube, you know, everywhere. It's being built into the algorithm that people who are male, white, and middle aged, especially middle aged or older, they need to be gone. I'll say it again. Caucasian or white, if you will, middle aged men like myself, they need to be gone. It's being built into the algorithms controlling how people communicate, their transactions, everything. The news they show you, everything. I'm pretty sure about this. As my content as a YouTube creator, as a video creator, has gotten better, the quality has gotten better and better and better, my views have gone down. Okay. That's just one tiny little bit, tiny little part of it. And now you may ask, oh, why is that? Why would you say that? You're just sitting there complaining. Well, do better. Do better. It's the quality of your work that's the problem, and all that. No, it's not. Um, and why would anyone build such discrimination into the algorithms? Why would they do that? I happen to know, I'm pretty sure, I don't know. This is just me guessing, okay? Um, just going to put someone in timeout here. If I put you in timeout, you need to reconsider your life a little bit, okay? So why would anyone build into the algorithm discrimination against a certain ethnic or demographic group? I can guess. Let me just guess. Okay. The group that we're talking about here, uh, you know, white middle aged straight, white, middle-aged men, they tend to be very successful at what they do, and they tend to be in positions of power in the work life. If they work in a corporation, they tend to have a lot of power. They tend to be in a position where they won't accept being bossed around, and also they know what they're worth. So if someone asks me if I want to go and do a lecture, like I got an email, I get people asking that all the time. I will give them a price, and it's not the cheapest price. That's just how it is. They want us gone because we're a threat. And I'm not saying that no people outside of that demographic group can't be a threat. I'm just saying that if you remove that demographic group, straight, white, middle-aged men, if you just remove them from the public eye, you will be left with younger people who will typically accept worse terms, less payment, and you will also be left with people who typically will not challenge the current narrative. So I can tell you that I have been sitting, I'll just, what do you say, spill the beans, Is that what you call it? Telling the truth. I've been sitting in a big room, listening to people saying that, as a novelist, I was there as a novelist, and these publishers were saying that we need to get more people with minority background published. We need to get more of our books, more of our writers should now be people with a minority background. You know what that means? It means that they're making that needle eye, is that what you call it in English? It's so difficult to get accepted, to get your book accepted as a writer. And they're going to make it a little bit easier for people of minority background, which means they will make it a little bit or much more difficult for people from other demographic groups. And you can't argue against that because that's mathematically what it means when they say that. It's unfair, it's unprofessional, and you know what? I think it's just disgusting. It's discrimination, and I don't like it. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to say. And I can just say that YouTube, the joke that is the joke, aka the joke that YouTube has become. And I'm not the only one saying this, and it's people are telling me, other large creators, that it doesn't matter what content they upload anymore. It doesn't matter. And when it doesn't matter, the length of your video, the format of your video, the content of your video, the thumbnail, when these things seem not to matter anymore, and we try and we try and we try with different angles, and it doesn't fucking matter anymore. What that means is that it's built into the algorithm that you are not supposed to make it big anymore. Why would they do that? I think I just explained why. And That's just how the world has become. And as I often say, there's nothing new about this. We have had discrimination up through human history many times, many times. It's just how it is. And in this time, the threat is we, people like myself, we're seen as a threat, and therefore we must be discriminated against, you know? And to those people who will be writing in the comments, their usual crap like, oh, you're just complaining, you're just moaning, you know what? Try spending one day, no, 1 hour in my shoes. You would be crumbling and crying. You would not manage. You would not manage. Try doing that. If you think I'm complaining, have you any idea how hard I work? No, I don't think you do at all. And I'm not the only one. You know why? Because typically people in my demographic group, we work a lot. And we do that because of our discipline, because we are goal oriented people. That's why we succeed. And you know what? Here's another thing: we will succeed and we will not lose this battle. This is a battle. We will not lose this battle because we don't lose. At the end of the day, we will be victorious. It's just how it is. And I think these people trying to censor us, trying to tweak their little effing algorithm so that we should not be visible, I think they know this. I think they know this. I think they're very, very afraid. So, okay, um, let's have a look here at the chat. And before I do that, let me just say that I do these live streams because I think this is important. And if by some miracle people discover this live stream, then that's a good thing. On my main channel, you know, I just make videos that I enjoy making, and the views are about 20% of what they used to be, but it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. I could sit there, I guess, and talk about how everything is bad in the world and how everything is going to end tomorrow. I see some channels doing that, and they seem to be in that demographic group, not my demographic group, but that's the only kind of content that seems, and it's only like a few channels, controlled opposition. That's what they're called. I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? It's it has no value, no value, and they only do that to make money from the ads and their sponsors. I would not. It's dishonorable, if you ask me. Riff Magos is saying to speak the truth is a revolutionary act in 2023. It certainly is. Certainly. And thank you for being a member here. Thank you. So, yeah, Mark is saying the next thing is the central banking system and cashless society, universal income system. Yeah, we have talked about this before. CBDC, central bank digital currency, and you tie it together with a social credit score system, which is not a myth. It's going to happen, and yeah. Um, who is Google really run by? That's Natasha. It's that's very easy to find out. The corporation, I believe, is called Alphabet, and you just follow the money from there, and same people basically, um, that also own the companies that sell the big cough medicine and so on and so on. So yeah, isn't that Sebastian? They call it blackwashing. Isn't that funny? To be honest with you, I don't care which color of the skin color of the actors. I really don't care, except in those settings where you need someone to, like, someone playing a king from Europe in the year 1200, for instance. Or, well, it's obvious, isn't it? That would not be a black person, you know. And yeah, it is. It's like they wonder why people don't want to watch those movies. And it's not the all actors' fault. It's not the actors' fault. Of course, I think actors, they will say yes, thank you, if they get offered a part like that. You know, it's not their fault. Um, yeah, I think Disney is the worst there. You know, it's I don't watch movies anymore. Let's see here. Yeah, insects in the food. Yeah, no, no, no. I'm not going to eat that. Um, it's very, very unhealthy. Isn't it funny that they try to sell it as something very healthy? First they said, "Oh, people get enough protein by eating soy and that crap," and now they say, "Well, eat these bugs because they're full of protein." I thought you said protein was not important, or that you get enough protein from eating beans and rice. Protein is important, and you don't. No, I won't even get into it. It's basic nutritional knowledge. Yeah, crickets are superfood. Yeah, Natasha, I get it. It's a joke, but it's they're not. um, yeah, they say it's a more sustainable source of protein. Yes, Janet, of course they would say that because they own the factories. Um, Robert, thank you so much for that donation. Um, thank you. Now, let me just scroll up a little bit here. Um, okay, I'll just make sure I didn't miss any super chats or anything like that. Let's see. Yeah, that's a good. That's a that's well said there. Pickle Snout Penobscot says discrimination is when you exceed the best and still are not chosen. Yeah, yeah, yes, exactly. Um, Rensune, I slaughter the pronunciation of some of the names there. I'm sorry, but I'm Norwegian. That's my excuse. You're saying anyone tell Bjorn about the insanely racist IBM payment policy? I haven't heard about that. I would like to hear about it. Um, yeah, and Riff Mago says in the TV series Vikings Valhalla, the title in itself is a little bit stupid, isn't it? But they turned Jarl Håkon into a black woman. Yes. Um, I will not watch a TV show where they do that. Call me whatever you like, but Guardian Prepping, that's a long time ago, a long time since I've seen you, Harry. Good to see you. Uh, Good to have you back. Um, so let's see. GoCorp Watch says the YouTube algorithm is highly tuned to people's attention. A lot of people don't understand attention. Yeah, well, it's not that simple, really. Um, it really isn't. Um, but the attention, the watch time is basically what you need to go for, and um, but I think it's important to understand that what YouTube is trying to do is to move away from paying us YouTube creators from ad revenue for ad revenue. They don't want to do that, so they move to shorts, which a very different payment model. So um, yeah, so they're pouring ads into the videos, and they pay less to the creators. So um, okay, you have a new channel, or I didn't know you already had that channel, Guardian Prepping, Guardian Outdoors and Fitness. That's awesome. Um, yeah, horror business. That's important what you're saying there. People have the lowest attention span than ever before right now. Yeah, I've noticed that. Now, I can tell you that coming from a different part of media, if you will, as a novelist, I can tell I have some knowledge about people's attention span that is sort of not unique, but kind of maybe you haven't heard about this before. It's we're losing readers, or we're not. I mean, we're losing. It's almost like we're losing a generation or future generations of readers. People don't read as much anymore, and it seems like a lot of people, younger people, are they don't read books. They will gladly spend 8 hours per day on that fucking smartphone, but they don't read books. They say it takes too much time. And what that does to your mind is that you need, or to, yes, the attention span is one thing, but people become addicts to dopamine, and you don't. So they that's why they spend all that time on the smartphone, and picking up a book which requires some concentration, which requires some imagination. They really can't do that. They don't know how to do that. Their brain is wired in such a way that they can't do that. That's a big problem. It also means that people are much more easily manipulated because they I've talked about this before. That smartphone, I have to tell you, it is a problem. It is a problem. The smartphone is the worst that has happened to humans in a long time. It's a wonderful tool, could have been, but and I know that nobody's throwing away their smartphone. I did, but people are not going to do that. And the most foolish comment I see is the kind of comment where people brag about, oh, I don't have a TV. I threw away my laptop computer. I only have my smartphone now. Yeah, that's what they want. That's what they want people to do. Keep that tracking device in your pocket at all times. Of course. It's your iron collar, with a chain attached to it. But people don't want to hear that. Of course not. So, uh, yeah, Robert says, went on a date, girl was on the damn thing, I got rid of mine 4 years ago. I mean, it's like, yeah, I've seen that. And I would, if I would just leave, you know, I would just leave. So, um, AI girlfriends on your smartphone. That must be the saddest thing ever. Um, yeah, Go Corp Watch says the listen to CD album. I do that. Yeah. Um, well, Curious says on every device is an on-off button using tech for purpose, but otherwise just turn it all off. Yes, but people don't turn it off because it's addictive. How many people watching this who have a smartphone turn off the smartphone sometime during the evening? I would guess that most people they don't turn their smartphone off ever. So yeah, it's not a poll here. We're not doing a poll, but I know I'm asking because I know the answer. um, so yeah. Well, also here's what I learned when I threw away my smartphone. People lie to themselves. And I'll tell you a few common lies. They lie about how often and how much they use their smartphone because they use their smartphone more often and much more than they want to admit to themselves. Number two, people are so busy. Now they don't have time for anything anymore. In reality, people are not busy and they're not especially productive either. If they threw away their smartphone, they would discover that they were wasting hours every day. I would estimate 4 to 5 hours at least every day, completely wasted looking at that device. Number three, it is addictive. People will, they will do, just a thing for my glasses, they will start picking up stuff, and it's, if you notice that, they well, you haven't noticed that because people always have their smartphone. They will just be like this. They don't know what to do with their hands. But again, I think I've talked enough about that now. People don't want to hear this, and they lie to themselves. I'm not. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm just saying that that's how it is. You know. Um, okay. So what if people watch TV? Who are you to judge? I'm not. I just said that people who spend hours on their smartphone, they should not judge people who watch TV because what's, I mean, then wait. So, um, and again, we are shaped, and our perception of the world is shaped by what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we feel. And a lot of that comes through a screen these days. Very few people spend much time out in nature. Nature is the real world, okay? And I find that it is much more important to get in tune and in contact with nature. That is much more important than reading the latest news and all that. Because, well, it's actually, I can't really explain it to people who haven't experienced it. But when you get that connection, and then you see some news or something on social media, and it just, you realize that it's not important, most of it. And you know why care so much about it? It's like, the way I see it, the modern society, the society that we live in, it's uh, it's just a necessity sometimes during the day. Like now, I use technology now, and you know, um, but it's not important. Apart from that, it's not something I relate to, and yeah, I feel that it is nature that is real, and spending time in nature is the real life, and it's, yeah, it's difficult to explain, actually. um, so okay. uh, uh, yeah, is it my personal opinion? No, it really isn't. It really isn't. Nature is the real world, and it's just a thin veneer of civilization that people surround themselves with. It's very fragile, by the way, and yeah, you know. Gen X Parasite. That's a good name. You work hard. Let me understand for these videos. Smiley face there. Yeah, I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but or what. You do realize I have other channels, and I do take creative pleasure into making videos that I feel are of a certain quality. This is a live stream. I'm just chatting with you guys. This is different. Okay. You have links to my other YouTube channels in the video description. And my main job, my daytime job, so to speak, is writing books. So yes, I do work hard. Yeah, 2023 is almost over, and a lot of people have died, says Lyle. That is true. That is true. And yeah, well, Gen X Parasite, I have 4 channels. Okay. So, um, Gen X Parasite is having a little bit of fun with us here. I don't work hard. Why would I? I'll tell you why. Honor. You know what that is? Honor, integrity, being remembered after you're gone. those are values and concepts that are important to any Norse heathen and many other people too. So David up Rhys says, is it your intention to inspire or to depress? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. I'm sure you can if you try really hard. Um, so yeah, Olav, yes, he has a good nickname there because, as you say, Olav, the whole definition of a parasite is to just tag along for the ride. We will not give him more attention. Um, so, um, yes, Riff Mago says being heathen goes hand in hand with nature. Yes. So, do you consider your life Gen X parasite? You're in timeout now. Yeah. I'm not going to keep talking here forever, but I just want to reply to what Sigi Lork there is saying. What is really alarming is that many children and young people are afraid of trees and nature in general. Now, if that happens to society, you know you are in trouble. Yes, exactly. Exactly. I never thought I would see the day when I had people writing to me saying that they are afraid of nature, or they are afraid of the darkness. They are afraid of things they've seen in horror movies. They are afraid of predators because they've seen these stupid TV shows, survival shows. Everything's, oh, they almost die in every episode. Oh, it's so dangerous every time. And and because of that, they stay at home. you know it's and we're seeing it here on YouTube as well. If you want to get high views, you need to make it dramatic, or you need to be a scantily clad young woman. um, and these guys, oh my god, snowstorm, it was extreme cold, -5 Celsius, oh my god. No, I mean, nature is not dangerous. Nature just is, you know, and we are nature, and we should realize that any other anything else than that is fake. If you're not connected to nature, you're not connected to yourself. You're living an illusion. And most people these days in our part of the world, they seem to do that. Um, yeah, well, Jeanette, you're writing there that, um, okay, first of all, such a bunyip, saying that, is asking where you found that information. I can tell you that I have people writing to me saying exactly that. Not exactly trees, that they're afraid of trees, but they're afraid of so many things out in nature. So it is actually a thing. Yeah. Jeanette says, that she says, what bothers me is that my grandsons have no reading comprehension or listening comprehension, poor reading skills, lack of any skills necessary to survive, or any ambition. Well, that's not a good combination, but maybe you could, you know, get them interested in something, I would maybe start with some survival skills. It seems to go living a more natural lifestyle, connected with nature. Reading is part of that for many people because you get disconnected from this fast paced, low attention span kind of life that most people are living these days. Um, so, yeah. Yeah, Olav, yes, in these TV shows, referring to that, usually bears around every corner. Yeah, yeah. Uh, Light Warrior from Bosnia. Um, well, much love from Norway as well. Yes, we must stay grounded with nature at all times. Uh, well, Jeanette, I would just take away their smartphones. If you like, if they spend some time with you, you know, put their smartphones in a box, let them be bored. Eventually, they will adjust to not having that device there. Lyle says, "How important is the winter solstice to you this time of the year? Does it hold a religious significance?" It is extremely important to me personally because I don't like the dark months so much, and for me, actually, the first day, like the 22nd of December, I get all excited because now the day is a few seconds longer than yesterday, and I start looking forward to spring. I start thinking about all my projects. I have a Viking Oseberg tent. Now that I'm yeah I you know that's one of them. Um, so yeah, it has, of course, a religious significance, but I'm not like doing anything. Basically, I'm just yeah, it's important. Um, Garrett says, "Amen, brother." Well, was that for me? Well, thank you. If it was. Um, oh yeah, Jeanette says I must embrace the time of the rest, the dark time of the year. It's not a time of rest for me. I have some deadlines. Um, so not just came in. What is the discrimination we can't talk about, please? You'll have to scroll down, scroll back, go back to. I started talking about that about 2 minutes in. Um, oh, did you like Andy, my video, the video where I don't talk? Oh, thank you. So, if I have a long ship of my own, I wish I had. Yeah, Throne, I agree. That's what Euro is all about for me. The days are getting longer. Yeah. So, okay. Um, I will leave you with that, and I hope if you listen to the whole thing, let's just connect the two maybe main parts here in this live stream. First, there is discrimination, and I think it's being built into the algorithms controlling all the social media, what you see on the TV and everything. Not only that, but in the fabric of society basically now. It's discrimination against those who are seen as a threat, and that's especially middle-aged white straight men, because historically we have had most of the power. So we're seen as a threat. We are high achievers mostly, and not saying other people are not, but I'm just saying that we, yeah, I don't have to repeat myself. So that could be very depressing, and it sort of is, but it also is not your entire life. It's just a tiny part of it, right? Because the main part of my life, the main part of, I think, everyone's life should be nature. That's the real world. And nature does not discriminate, nature just is. So I believe that's quite important to understand. So, okay, we'll talk soon. We'll talk soon, and have a wonderful day.